Hi, I'm Jim and I work for Open Doors. Open Doors is an international Christian organization founded in 1955 that supports and serves persecuted Christians and churches in over 60 countries around the world. We supply Bibles, train church leaders, provide practical support and emergency relief, and support Christians who are suffering for their faith. What is persecution, you may ask? Christian persecution is any hostility experienced as a result of one's identification as a Christian. It can come from government, communities, or families, and examples of it are Christians being killed, abducted, detained without trial, Christian women being raped or forced into marriage, and churches being attacked. Today, over 260 million of our brothers and sisters around the world, living in countries where it is often dangerous to be a Christian, are facing high or extreme levels of persecution. That is, 1 out of every 8 of the global Christian population. Let me tell you the story of Leah Sharibu. 2.5 years ago, in February 2018, Leah, then a 14-year-old Christian girl, was kidnapped along with over 100 other girls from their school in northeast Nigeria by the Islamist terrorist group Boko Haram. The following month, the kidnappers released all of the girls except Leah. Leah, the only Christian girl in the group, had been told that a condition of her release was for her to make the Muslim declaration of faith and convert to Islam. However, as a devout Christian, she refused to do so. Her Muslim friends in the group even begged her to simply pretend to accept Islam, but Leah could not even do that. A truck arrived to take the kidnapped girls back to their families, but the kidnappers told Leah again that if she didn't convert to Islam, she would not be released and would remain with them. She refused. The other girls boarded the truck, waved to Leah and cried as it sped away, and Leah was left alone with her kidnappers. That was 2.5 years ago, and Leah is still alive but remains in captivity. She is one of millions of Christian females around the world who are suffering because of their faith and gender. One of our current focuses is on Christians who are being discriminated against in the provision of government aid during the COVID-19 pandemic. Many, from Vietnam to India to Nigeria, are the last in line when aid is being handed out. Here, Akash, one of our partners in India, says, "We see people in great need. We have to help them, even if it is risky." And a Christian leader in Bangladesh says, "Some of the believers are starving. Some are forced to eat less so that they can maximize the number of days they can continue to have food. Some are borrowing money with high interest rates to buy food. None of them have received any kind of support or relief aid from the government yet." Open Doors began in 1955 through the work of an amazing young Dutch Christian who became known as Brother Andrew. His life work began almost by accident when, as an 18-year-old, he went to Poland to attend a communist youth conference. During the visit, he met for the first time committed Christians from the communist countries of Central and Eastern Europe. These were believers who felt isolated and who did not have access to Bibles, but who were so encouraged by Brother Andrew's interest in them. From this experience, God spoke to Brother Andrew through a verse in the book of Revelation to strengthen that which remains and was about to die. This became his life calling and thus began a remarkable ministry in which Brother Andrew made countless trips to countries behind the Iron Curtain to take in Bibles and to encourage the church. His story is told in the much-loved book, God's Smuggler. Perhaps some of you have heard of it or read it even. From there, Open Doors grew, always maintaining its focus on serving persecuted Christians, but now working in over 60 countries where it is most dangerous to be a Christian. Our vision is to be a strong church, defying persecution, standing together, and sharing our faith in Jesus no matter what the cost. I work for Open Doors as Church Relations Manager for Wales. I started in January, shortly before the lockdown, and it's the first time that Open Doors has had a dedicated staff role for Wales, although for many years there's been a team of volunteers that have spoken in churches and helped out in other ways. You may be wondering about my accent. I was born in Newport, but I grew up in Canada. My dad is from Chepstow, and his father, my grandfather, was from just up the road from you in Herefordshire by Longtown. So we lived in Canada until I was 14, and then we came back to Caldecott. I did my O-levels, A-levels. Then I went back to Canada just after I turned 20, and it was at that point that I became a committed Christian. What drives me in my work with Open Doors is being able to do something to support my brothers and sisters around the world who, for no fault of their own, are suffering for their faith. I find it incredibly rewarding and a blessing, even if some days all I can do is pray. I'm married to Natmi, who herself is a refugee, having fled persecution from Eritrea in East Africa. As she came here 10 years ago, and about a year after she arrived here, we were married. She's done really well, and this month she was confirmed in rank with South Wales Police as a police constable. So you might see her out and about in the streets in Cardiff. So we've been married 9 years, and we have a 7-year-old boy, Caleb, who is full of life. You can sign up to receive our regular emails to get stories and hear how you can make an impact for persecuted Christians. Go to opendoorsuk.org and scroll down to subscribe under the prayer and praise section. Or if you'd like to use our prayer resources, go to opendoorsuk.org/resources/prayer. If you scroll down to the bottom on the right, you'll see prayer diary and a link to click. This is a resource that I use every day that enables me to pray in an informed way. You can pray for me, for God to help me grow into my role with Open Doors, connecting Christians and churches in Wales to the persecuted church around the world. And for Open Doors, that God would protect our partners around the world from COVID-19 and give them strength as they bring emergency aid to Christians in need. I'll bring this to a close by showing a short but incredibly inspiring video of Pastor Marcos from northern Nigeria.
Sananin nan ya zama taki na bishara wanda yana karɓar mutane 200 bayan da Boko Haram suka tafi. Yanzu akwai mutane sun kai 300-400 suna nan week a kowane lokaci, amma da haka din abun karfafawa ne. Saboda haka wannan ma ba za mu yi addu'a cewa ba Ubangiji Allah ya dauke tsanani ba, a'a, sai dai mu yi addu'a cewa Ubangiji Allah ya ba mu karfafawa wanda za mu jimre, domin kitab mai tsarki ya ce wanda ya jimre har matuka zai samu menene, zai samu tsira. Kitab mai tsarki shine sako da muke so aika ma duniya a ranar ta yau. Kada mu ji tsoro, kada mu firgita, a sai bege tana zuwa mana. Saboda haka hanyar nan Yesu Almasihu ya bi, saboda haka tunda mu almajirai nasa na gaskiya, mu ma sai mun ɗanɗana, amma karshe za mu samu nasara.